Hey loves, welcome back to my space. If you're new here, thank you so much for dropping by. If you are in OG, I see you. So last time guys, we created this bralette, this cute bralette, and this time I decided why not have a matching panty, because who doesn't want to have a set? Now see what I came up with. Just see what I came up with, because I really wanted this set, and I decided to do it. So without further ado, let me show you how I did the panties. So to start with, this time we're not going to use patterns as usual. We're going to use a live panty. So I used a live panty, as in I used a real panty, and I'll use my pin, this clear paper. This one was a cover, the duvet bag, yeah. So if you have another clear cover paper, you can use it. And guys, I want to like create my own pattern, like just do a DIY with this. So I'm using an original, well-made and ready-made panty from the shop. So what you're going to do is just place your panty like this on that paper, and then you're going to create a pattern from this before you transfer it to your fabric. One thing you should know, this panty is elastic, this panty is stretchy. So when you're doing this, don't stretch it too much, just lay it the way it is, lay it on that paper, then cover the paper, then pin as usual. Pin, don't forget to pin. Like I'll emphasize this, pins ensure that your fabric or your whatever you're using doesn't move, so you'll have clear measurements, you'll have clear you'll have the correct and exact measurements you want, the correct and exact pattern you want. So as always, because we do DIY things, here's our panty, and this is what you're doing. So once you have laid it down, you're going to draw. This is just outlining the shape of the pant. You know what we're doing? We are creating a pattern, but not from scratch. So you know pattern making, the way, hey, if you went to design school, tailoring, you know how pattern making is difficult. Like, yo, pattern making is not a joke. So what you're going to do is just create a pattern. As you can see, I'm drawing this line in the middle, because usually ladies, our panties have some cotton parts inside, yeah. So this where I'm drawing is where our cotton pant will start, and because I said this is a pattern we're creating, I'll have to draw that so that I can know where exact it will start from. Once you're done, you just cut it out. Pole too. If your fabric is if your paper is big, I will recommend you fold it at the bottom, because mine had fold at the bottom, at the top, and it was open at the bottom where I'm removing my pins. That part is open, so meaning I'll have two separate parts. I'll have the back and the front. But if you can have a fold one, you can avoid that nini of having an open bottom. You feel me? Like, the pattern should be continuous. So if you're ready with your pattern, you're done with cutting, you just ensure that you now remove the upper part, the front, the front part of the paper, and then you cut it. You just cut the outline that you made for the inner leg. Am I making sense? This is how you're just cutting the inner leg. As you can see, mine, I don't know what happened, but as you can see, I had so many lines drawn. When doing this, I drew so many lines. But hey, Mr. Perfection, who is you? Perfection for who? We DIY, we try all we can. So once I had one side cut, I had to just fold it together, because as I said, you see, mine looks like they were not agreeing. So I had to fold it together so that I can just cut it out and make sure that I have exact same size or same measurements on the inner leg. You feel me? Do you feel me? So this once I'm done, this is the front part, as you can see. Then I'll go back to the back part. As I told you, if you're able to have a fold at the bottom, you'll have your pattern as a whole, as a complete pattern. But for me, there were two separate patterns. So what I did is just pick the back and the front and then attach the bottom. You see where I'm saying they should be together, like you see, they should be continuous. So there is where I'll just pin so that I can have it as one pattern. Am I making sense? Am I making sense? I know you can see this, so I know you're very clever and you can get this, you know. So I just pin it down so that I can secure it and it doesn't potea. And then I looked for a cotton fabric. And where else do you get perfect cotton? Like, kama si kwa nguo za watoto, because this one I took a onesie, my baby's onesie. This one was the first outfit I live kitambo kadogo. So I took a onesie and then I just did the cutting. So if you have another fabric or you have cotton fabric in your home, you can use it. You can use cotton fabric. Ensure you have pure cotton. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying, because you don't want things that will mess your VJJ. Then once you're done, once you cut this white piece is what you'll have, you know. Then you'll have your fabric. So this is where I have to put a disclaimer. If you're going to make a bikini underwear, ensure that the patterns you're making are of exact size. If you're going to use Ankara or any other non-stretching fabric, ensure that you use your body measurements. You feel me? Do you feel me? But these patterns that you've made with paper, they are perfect for stretchy fabric. Do you understand? Because our panty was stretchy, so we have the exact measurement of that stretchy fabric. This pattern you have made is already for a stretchy panty, and it's because it's stretchy, the pattern, if you create another panty, it will be exact size with the original panty you made. But if you're going to use Ankara, ensure that if it's your panty, the one you want to wear you yourself, ensure that you use your exact body measurements. So what's the secret to using this pattern that you've created to having exact panty for your body? You upscale. Upscaling is you'll just measure the waist and see whether it's the same as the waist, your own waist, yeah? So you'll measure the back and the front and make sure that it's exact. If it's not exact from your pattern, you just add some few inches. Like if maybe your pattern is 10, is a size 10, you'll just, and you are a size 12, you'll just add a few inches so that you can get to a size 12. So if this pattern waist is 30 and yours is 32, you just add the 2 inches on both sides. Do you understand? Do you understand? The one, you see? So let's go back to our pattern that you've made. Pin it down to the fabric that you have. For me, I have this Ankara because I want to have a set. Like I was like, yo, this atafadhali tu nivalishe toto, but hey, that bra was awesome. So I wanted to use this to get a panty. So as I've said, easier to upscale to your own measurements if you're using this pattern. If you are using a stretchy fabric, then there's no need of upscaling the pattern that you have. Yeah. So once you're done, cut the outline. You see that it's easy. Like already you have the karatasi pattern on top. So you're just placing it and then you're just cutting. And now because we did pin at the middle, we'll have one continuous fabric. Can you see what I'm... Man, this thing was so cute and it was so therapeutical to make because I was like, yo, you know, when you sing progress, when you're trying to do something and then you sing progress, you're like, yo, yeah, I love this. So once you've done cutting, wait, you see, Mimi na Pini, we are best friends because these pins, as I said, if you have hooks, well and good. If you have the wooden, what are they called? Wooden pegs at home, they can also act as your hooks. You can use them. So once you've done, this is what you'll have. a very cute pattern, and it's one. Do you feel me? Now it's one big one. We don't have the back and the front when you cut to mekata. So that now what is telling you the difference is because the bum is big, so that makes the back, the bigger part, the back, and the smaller part, the front. Then we get to our cotton piece that we cut. Now this cotton piece is it's stretchy. For me, this one was stretchy. So what you're going to do, you're going to make it fit here. Do you feel me? Can you? Yeah. So that you can protect your vagina, you can protect your panty. Like the underwear is already done. At this point, you can even just pin it and write. But anyway, so we're going to stitch down this cappies. And because not everyone is a tailor, and because you're trying this because you're doing this DIY at home because you're not even a fashion student or anything, please let your pins come in handy. So I did pin it down, and as you can see, I'm doing a small fold to hide the edge. You understand? Just like a little fold to hide the raw edges. So you pin it down, and as you can tell, it's starting at the one side of it's going from one end of the front to another end to a place at the back. Simnona, I know you understand what I'm saying. I know you understand what I'm saying. Anyway, so we pin it down, pin it as you stretch. Pin it kabisa, usikose kufanya hiki tu. If you're okay with stitching without pins, go on. If you are an expert of stitching without pins, go on. If you're already used to just making cute stitches without even looking, just go on, do you, man. But for me, I was like, hey, what an pin. I don't want to have dramas. I don't want to have dramas here. I don't want to stitch and then at the end you're like, guy fafa, what did I just do? Yeah, so that's why I was doing so many pins and securing this cappies there. Once it's secured like that, it is secured, I went on and stitched. Like I stitched hapa mbele na pale nyuma kwanza, specifically mbele na nyuma, like in front and back. You see what I did? And then I did zigzag stitching. For this one, I used zigzag stitch. That one you can set on your machine. If you're using your hand, I know you know how to make stitches, so different stitches. So I used zigzag stitches. You can try doing zigzag, small, what are they called? These ones that you pick and kadogo. Good. Just use small stitches, yeah, for this. So once done, it's time to hem. So we're going to hem our inner leg, the legs, where your thighs will lie. So we're just going to hem. Here you can hem using different things. You can do the normal hemming, like just fold and hem like I did, or you can use lace. You can use the lace elastic or the lace, whatever, decorative lace that people usually use. And there's also another another elastic that is used. I know you can check your panties there. Not all panties have hemmings, yeah. So you just use this to hem. For me, I did, as I said, I did hem all around. I used zigzag stitches. For me, I use zigzag. As you can tell, you can see my hems. So here, for me, I decided I'll just use zigzag stitches. But as I've said, you can use a decorative lace. You can use you can use an elastic. Those small ones, not the braided elastic kenye tunekanga kwa kamisi. No, the decorative one, yeah. So once you've done with the sides, yeah, so now your legs are done and it looks so good, looks so neat. Yeah, just see, as I said, hemming with lace. Now you're done. This is what you have, yeah, all done. So the only part that is left is the sides. So the only part that is left is the sides, yeah, and the waist. So for me, the waist, I used the braided elastic band. That's what it's called, braided elastic band. ile ya normal one ya kamisi. But this one, when you're stitching, you should be very, very careful. I did cut exact. You see what I did here? For me, so that I don't have to worry about folds. So unajua ukifunga ukiweka kamisi the way when you're doing petticoat and then you do elastic. The rule of elastic is your waist minus 10. That's the rule of an elastic band. So that it creates those gathers. But for me, because I don't want this panty to have gathers, I use the exact measurement. As you can see, I just placed the elastic to the waist, exact one, and then I cut. That's what I did. So when stitching and everything, my panties will not have those gathers at the top. But to avoid all this, because you should be very careful when stitching this, so that you don't stitch it together with the knee and then make it have those, what is it called, those gathers that you're trying to avoid. Don't pull it with the needle when you're stitching. Also, it's easier to do the bag, create like a small fold on this waistband and then uingize na pins, or just do what I did. For me, I just laid it down and then I did the stitching. But to be safer, just use the less elastic, or the other one, decorative one. It's called plush or plush. The decorative one, I'll put that name here. So that decorative one, they just pop at the edge of the panty, at the edge of the hem, but they look so cute. That's why they're called decorative. So they won't have that ish. I know you can check your panties and you can see kuna yenye inakaa tu imeshikiliwa, iko attached, inakaa ni kama tape, ni kama double sided tape. Yeah, you can use those ones. So what you're going to do is stitch it down. For me, I first did the pins on both sides, and then, as you can tell, I'm doing the waistband first on both sides before putting my panty together finally. Do you understand what I'm saying? Like I did the waist first, the waistband, and then come to the sides. That is easy. It will give you a very clean edge. Yeah, it gives you a very clean edge on this panty. So once you've done, here you go. Now I've done the sides. I've done the sides, and can you see this? Can you see this? Ama ni mimi peke yangu unaona? Just look at that panty. Just look at that. Look at that. Just look at that. Can you even say this? Can you? Hey, who's going to even say this a DIY? Like, we have our bikini bottoms. We have our bikini bottom. From the we already do. So imagine this and the bra that we made together. Now we can go to the beach. Now we're ready. We are ready to go to the beach. Can we please go to the beach? Can we? Can someone just give me a call and we go to this beach together? Because I truly love this. This was the most therapeutical DIY. I just love this. The way they turned out. Just look at that set. Look at that set. Guys, thank you so much for dropping by. Thank you for watching. Till next time. I hope you try this. Bye bye.